What's good? It's Khalil Jamar. Hope that all is well with you guys. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. If this is not your first time on my channel, welcome back. Now today I'm going to be talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger recently opening up about his previous heart surgeries that he's had. And if you guys didn't know, I didn't even know this until a few days ago, but Arnold Schwarzenegger has had three, I think they were all open heart, but he's had three heart surgeries in the past. He had one in 1997, one in 2018, and then the one that he really had opened up about was back in 2020. And I think he's actually getting ready for another Terminator movie. All of these surgeries, they were done to replace valves within the heart, and the valves that I am referring to, they were the pulmonary valve as well as the aortic valve. Now, I'm not sure of the exact reason as to why he even needed those valves replaced. For example, I don't know if it was due to steroid use in the past or something that he was doing earlier in his life. I won't speculate on that, but I did do a little bit of research on what those valves do and why they are important to the heart. Now, the pulmonary valve, it just brings deoxygenated blood into the lungs, which is going to allow you to breathe. If you can't breathe, obviously there's a problem. And then the aortic valve brings blood from the heart throughout the entire body. Similar type of deal. If you don't have blood flow throughout the body, I think we know what happens next. So Schwarzenegger, he was having problems with these valves in his heart, and in his 2020 surgery, again, which is the one that he really had opened up about and talked about, he had a very scary situation where the surgeons or the doctors that had been working on his heart had accidentally poked a hole into his heart, and then right then and there had to perform open heart surgery in order to prevent internal bleeding so that he wouldn't die. One of the things that I think was admirable about this was Schwarzenegger's mindset about the entire situation. And I think that's part of the reason that he's been so successful in multiple areas of his life. And let me actually play you a clip of Schwarzenegger talking about what he went through and how he went about him finding out that he had a hole poked in his heart right after going through a replacement surgery.
I was in the middle of a disaster, so now is how do I get out of it? So you have to shift gears. You correct yourself, shift gears and say, okay, what I need to do now is I got to get out of this hospital, number one. How do I get out of the hospital is, okay, by getting out of bed instead of walking.
As you can see, instead of Arnold blaming the surgeons, which in this situation he would have been completely justified to do so, he decided to do, I think, what most people find it hard to do, and that's to acknowledge what he needed to do in the situation to make it better. Instead of saying, you know, these doctors, it's their fault, they poked a hole in my heart, he decided to make the situation better for himself. And I think that the level of awareness and stoicism that he had in this situation, where doctors poked a hole in his heart, I think it's something to be respected. When I talk about the awareness and the stoicism that he had, he was aware enough to understand that there was no point in complaining or blaming or pointing fingers at the surgeons, because honestly, it would not have done anything in that situation. He decided to take fate into his own hands. When you point fingers and you blame someone, you're now making them responsible for your outcomes and your fate. Meaning you no longer have control over what happens to you. When you blame somebody, and I think sometimes people don't realize this, is you're giving them power. You're giving them basically responsibility over you. To me, when you blame someone, it's almost like saying, I can't do anything. I'd rather you be responsible for what happens to me than me be responsible because I can't handle the responsibility. Stoicism, there's another part that I think should be acknowledged. I don't want to say that he completely ignored his feelings, but he did not prioritize what he may have been feeling at the time or at the moment. He prioritized the result that he wanted, which was to walk out of there alive. Again, I just think that something like that deserves a lot of respect. I mean, to get up and make a change, have a plan of action, it's just admirable, because he did mention that he was freaking out a little bit. I think most of us would be. But again, that didn't faze him at all. He got up, he did what he needed to do to make sure that he stayed alive. Him coming out and explaining his mindset about the entire situation, did talk about it a little bit earlier, but it makes so much sense now as to why he was such a successful bodybuilder, why he was a successful actor. I don't know how successful of a politician he was, but I don't know many politicians who were legendary within bodybuilding. And are legendary for even in acting. I mean, the Terminator is known worldwide. There was one point where in my life where I didn't even know Arnold Schwarzenegger was Arnold Schwarzenegger. I just thought he was the Terminator. But guys, that is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Make sure you do leave your thoughts and your opinions of this situation in the comment section. This is the second video I'm doing in a row and somebody having some type of heart problem. So if you guys have any more information or anything that I didn't cover in the video, again, leave that in the comment section. Make sure that you do like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, I forget to mention this in my videos, but make sure you do follow me on Instagram. I'll leave a link to it in the description. If you give me a follow, I'll make sure to reach out to you. Thank you for the follow. Like some of your pictures. I might even give you a follow back. But again, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later.